Hello, my name is Chris, and today I'd like to share with you something that really helped me when I was quitting smoking, which was to remember to keep it simple and do the whole process one day, one step, one decision at a time. There were times in the early part of my journey when I found it so overwhelming. The cravings were so intense and didn't seem to be disappearing. The withdrawal symptoms were so intense and didn't seem to be disappearing. And I started to feel like, oh my goodness, this is never going to end. I'm going to feel like this forever. If I'm going to quit smoking, then I'm going to have to deal with this forever. And I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do one more day of this. I certainly can't go through all of these withdrawals and cravings again tomorrow. Never mind till the end of the week, and I certainly can't do this for the rest of my life. And that would lead to another thought, which was, okay, if I feel so bad right now, then I might as well just go and get a cigarette, light it up, and put myself out of my own misery. There was a big fundamental problem with this, which was that it was smoking that was making me miserable in the first place. The whole reason I felt bad, the whole reason I had cravings and withdrawals was because I was trying to stop doing something that I no longer wanted to do. There was a part of me that was sick and tired of being sick and tired and wanted to stop. It was smoking that was making me miserable, which was the whole reason I was in where I was at. So if I had a cigarette, it wouldn't put me out of my misery, it would just prolong my misery. Because then at some point I would go, hang on a minute, I hate this is terrible. I'm supposed to be stopping. I want to be kind to myself and stop doing this. So great, now I've got to extinguish this cigarette and go through the whole craving and withdrawal process from the very beginning. So it wasn't going to put me out of my misery. The other mistake I made in this thinking was telling myself, oh my goodness, I've got to do this every day. I have to go through these cravings and withdrawals tomorrow and the next day and all the way till the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of my life. Oh my goodness, that is too much. I don't know how I'm going to be able to cope with this. And then I remembered that the way I was going to cope with this was to forget about tomorrow. Forget about the end of the week. Because tomorrow wasn't there. Tomorrow isn't here right now. I can't physically quit smoking tomorrow because it isn't here. I can't quit smoking all week because I only have this day, this hour, this moment. And if I'm not smoking in this moment, then I'm winning. So I don't have to quit smoking or, on a long-term basis. I can break it down. My only goal became lifting my head off the pillow in the morning, putting my head back on the pillow in the evening, and just not smoking for that very small period of time in between. This was much, much easier to deal with. Like I say, I couldn't deal with tomorrow because it wasn't there, but I could deal with getting to my head hitting the pillow in the evening and just not smoke for that time. And then when tomorrow comes, it's no longer tomorrow, but today. So I just repeat the whole process, pillow to pillow. And if even that was too much, you're watching this video right now and going, Chris, this is all well and good, but oh my God, you don't understand how intense the cravings are. You don't understand how bad I feel. Well, I do, because I felt it. Trust me, I felt it. So I went, well, okay, if I can't do this for one day, if I can't, it's 6 o'clock in the morning right now, if I can't get to 10 o'clock at night feeling like this, maybe I can get to lunchtime. And when lunchtime comes, then I can make a decision about whether or not I'm going to smoke. If I can't make it to lunchtime, maybe I can make it to the end of the hour. And when the hour comes, I feel like smoking now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to delay it by an hour. When the hour comes, then I can make a decision about whether I'm going to smoke or not. If I can't do an hour, can I do half an hour? Can I do 20 minutes, 5 minutes? Can I just not smoke for the next 60 seconds? When 60 seconds pass, then I'll make a decision. And the truth was that when I broke it down into these super small periods of time, the whole journey got easier to deal with. Because I would find that if I was having a craving, what I didn't know then, but I know now, is that the majority of cravings only last 20 minutes. So I would go, okay, I can do half an hour. And then half an hour would come, and I would have totally forgotten about the craving because it would have passed and I would have moved on to something else. If I'm dealing with bad withdrawal symptoms, it'd be like, well, okay, I can make it till lunchtime. And then at lunchtime, I can decide what to do about it. And then lunchtime would come and I'd totally forgotten about how I was feeling. Or if I hadn't forgotten, what I would do was say, well, you know what? I was feeling so bad this morning, but look how proud of myself I can be because I've made it to lunchtime. And if I've made it to lunchtime, I can make it to dinner time. Like, it's so much easier to deal with when we break it down into smaller, manageable chunks. And there was another thing that used to get me as well, which would be going, okay, I'm going to quit smoking. But that means I'm quitting smoking forever. And what am I going to do at Christmas? When I go out with my workmates and they're all smoking, what am I going to do at that wedding when everyone's smoking? What am I going to do in this situation, in that situation? What am I going to do next week, next month? Well, at the minute, you're not going to do anything because it's so far away, you can't physically deal with that period of time that isn't here yet. Yes, okay, if I have a party next week, then I can spend a small amount of time going, well, okay, I need to maybe get a plan together so that if it does get too much, I can just get the heck out of there and keep myself safe. But after I've made that plan, worrying about it any further is just wasting my own energy. So I keep the whole process in today. God, you know what? I just have to quit smoking for today until my head hits the pillow in the evening. And the great thing about this, I've found since, now that it's been years since I had my last cigarette, is that this proves to be an invaluable skill for life. I'm very busy right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I'm not looking at the whole of my workload in one go and going, oh my goodness, I have to do all of this stuff. No, I'm going, well, you know what? I've just taken my head off the pillow. I can maybe get X, Y, Z done. Sorry, I'm British, XYZ, done by the end of the day. So I just break it down into these small manageable chunks. You know, when I go for a run, oh my goodness, running is the most brilliant and terrible and awful and wonderful and hard and easiest thing in the world. And there are times when I'm clocking the miles and going, oh my God, this is hard work. But I don't think, oh my God, I've got to do this forever. I've got to do this for the next 2 hours. I go, no, I've just got to keep running for now. And if I can go 5 more minutes, then I can make a decision about whether or not to stop. If you and I go for a walk, let's say we're the proclaimers and we decide we're going to walk 500 miles and then just for a laugh, we're going to walk 500 more. We're not going to do the whole 1,000 miles in one go, are we? That would be lunacy. We're going to go, okay, well maybe we walk 2 miles today, 2 miles tomorrow. Break it down. So all I've got for you today is just this reminder to break it down one day at a time, one step at a time, one decision at a time. If you're thinking of smoking right now, just delay it for 5 minutes, for an hour. And then you can decide whether or not to smoke. Chances are, if you've made it this far, if you make it an hour, if you make it a day, then that decision is going to be easier. And the best part of it is, eventually you won't have to make these decisions anymore. I'm not saying, again, let's keep it in the day, I'm not saying you have to, for the rest of your life, break everything down into one day at a time, break quitting smoking down into small manageable chunks, because eventually you'll just stop thinking about it. In our Finding Freedom group on Facebook, I was asking people, how are you doing? What challenges are you facing? So many people said to me, Chris, it's been 6 months, 9 months, it's been a year since my last cigarette, and I just don't even think about it anymore. I'm no longer quitting smoking. I'm an ex-smoker, so I no longer think about it. That to me is amazing. Thank you so much for watching today. I just have one quick announcement before I go. If you are a, Kindle Unlimited user on Amazon, you can now read my book, Quit Smoking and Be Happy, for free until August the 23rd, I think it is. Otherwise, Quit Smoking and Be Happy is still available in ebook and print form from Amazon, and the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.